With nearly two-thirds of Americans expected to travel this summer, demand is driving prices to levels not seen in the past year. And despite the fact that airfare, rental car, and gas prices are all on the rise, travelers do not appear to be deterred. Many, however, are looking for creative ways to take a much-needed trip without breaking their budget. So how can you plan a budget-friendly vacation during a time when the biggest travel comeback in years is taking off? Well, travel expert and Jet Set correspondent Janine Tornatori joins us today with some answers and advice. Where are you, Janine?
I'm actually coming to you from the beautiful Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. Not a bad place to be right now. I mean, you've probably been here before, but this is a beautiful property, 65 acres, 5 pools, 5 restaurants, 2 championship golf courses. I mean, it really doesn't get any better for a first trip coming back after a pandemic.
Now, aside from Scottsdale, are there any other destinations where travelers can save this summer?
Well, let me talk to you about Scottsdale first. So it really plays into what my biggest tip is for folks saving this summer. Look, if you haven't decided where you want to go this summer, it's really the year to think like a travel contrarian. While everyone else is headed to Florida, to Mexico, to Myrtle Beach, you want to go where they're not going. And that is destinations like Scottsdale that are in their off season right now. So here in Scottsdale, in fact, they have a promotion called It's That Hot, because yes, it is that hot. Where you can get up to 60% off of these beautiful hotels and resorts. I mean, you can stay here at a fraction of the price that you could during high season. And, you know, with so many pools, with outdoor activities, like I got up early yesterday morning at the crack of dawn, did a beautiful hike, did kayak down the Salt River, all before it got too hot. There's plenty to do here with the indoor activities as well. So looking at these off-season destinations is really a fantastic way to save this summer.
We got the tip about traveling during off-peak times, but are there cheaper weeks to travel?
Well, look, we've already kind of missed the early season, you know, right before Memorial Day weekend. But I think, you know, when you get later in the summer, as kids head back to school, that's when we typically see demand drop. Is that going to happen this year? I'm not sure because there's so much demand. But when it comes to airfares, I think this year it's just really all about being flexible. Look, we do not have the business travel demand that we typically see during the middle of the week. So instead of flying out on a Friday or Saturday this summer, think about a Tuesday or a Wednesday for flying out and returning because the airports are a little less busy on those days. I also really like sites like there's one called fairness.com. If you're looking for what weeks should I travel, you go there, you plug in your origin, your destination, and it will literally show you an entire month view, June, July, August. You can scroll through and see week by week exactly what the average airfares are across the travel site. So it can really give you a big picture look at what weeks are a little bit cheaper to travel.
Now, what about using miles and reward points? Can travelers save by using them this summer?
Typically, I would tell you that, look, summer is the season where you're not going to get as much bang for your buck. And that is true because, you know, when prices are higher, it takes more miles to travel places. But look, your miles, they devalue over time. So if you have them sitting in there that you've earned over the last year, this summer may be the time to burn them. They may not be worth as much 6 months from now as they are today if demand continues to grow. So if you really do want to save, you know, even if it's on one way of your flight, maybe think about using some of those miles. And aside from miles, before you do use your miles, if you're someone that had to cancel a trip in the last year, make sure you're going online and you're checking on those travel credits that you may have sitting there. When do they expire? When do you need to use them by? Because, you know, frankly, even if they don't expire for a year, a lot of us, when they're sitting in there, we forget about them. So if you have them, use them now.
You know, that's actually a really good tip where you can use your miles or points to book one way and then you buy the other way, in essence, giving yourself a 50% off discount.
And you know what? That goes the same for a lot of hotels as well. These hotel programs like Marriott Bonvoy, you can use points and pay partially for your hotel stay, you know, 1 night or 2 nights. You don't have to use it for the entire trip. So even if you think you're someone that doesn't have enough points, you actually might have enough to use to save some cash.
Okay, so where can people go and get more information about everything you've discussed and more information to follow you?
Absolutely. Well, if you're looking at these off-season destinations and you're thinking Scottsdale, go to itsthathot.com. That's where you'll find all their savings. If you want to follow me and get more tips for summer travel, I'm at theoutsideinsider.com.
Thanks so much for joining us, Janine.
My pleasure.